The Uncanny Valley is Channel Awesome's 4th anniversary film. It is actually an anthology of short films. From 2011 to 2013, Channel Awesome produced 3 anniversary movies: Kick-Assia, Suburban Nights, and To Boldly Flee. These movies were widely criticized for their poor technical execution, their reliance on referencing scenes from other movies, and the disastrous production behind them. A former Channel Awesome creator by the name of Noah Antweiler would post a commentary track upon the release of each anniversary film. He does provide a lot of insight into the making of these movies. It sounds like a great shoot. It really makes me want to work with Doug.
My lips were like cracked mud. You know, it was so dry. My lips were a wasteland the entire rest of the trip. Man, I'm tired. I'm dehydrated or something. I got this headache and man, my lips are all, my God, my lips are split. You know, I was pretty scorched, beet red, and Nostalgia Critic, was very badly sunburned.
They produced The Uncanny Valley in the same slapdashed way. Interwoven between the short films are these little introductions.
I call this tale.
Oh my God, Krispy Kreme is still around?
And then Rob Walker shows up.
I'm Thomas.
What can I do for you, Thomas?
Well, I'm supposed to film here?
Film?
Yeah, I have my own show.
The first short film is titled Dragonboard. It's about 40 minutes long.
You are such a douchebag! This bag of douche, does it replenish health? I'm watching you, alright? Just watch it. Watch what, the bag of douche?
The star of Dragonboard is a guy named Uncle Yo, who made an appearance on Pop Quiz Hot Shot as well. They even make a reference to Dragonboard in this episode.
No! It's what actor said it, and as we both know, Tom Hanks, my friend, Tom Hanks. Wow, look at that, 10 to 40. You're not doing so well, yo. You ain't doing so well.
Those conjoined casts are gonna be really excited.
See you at the Dragonboard reunion.
The story follows Uncle Yo, playing a character named Carl with a C. The supporting characters in his life are his girlfriend, played by Rachel from Demo Reel, Malcolm, who plays his co-worker, and General Anesthetic from Pop Quiz Hot Shot, who plays his boss. Most of Dragonboard takes place in this guy's apartment.
I fought the ghost of a mystic dragon.
They make references to video games like Skyrim, but not in a way that's clever at all. They even use footage from Skyrim. Carl is playing the game on his couch when his girlfriend comes in.
I think we can still have a nice night together, don't you?
Oh yeah.
She waits for him in the bedroom, but she falls asleep as he spends all night playing the video game. Doug plays a character named Yimbroth, who comes out of the video game and into real life. As Yimbroth stumbles around his apartment, Carl calls the game company, trying to find some kind of solution to this problem.
Of course you don't have a record of that username, because he's literally right here. Yo, you idiots made the game, so do you know what's gonna happen? I'm sorry, could you put that down, please? Thank you. No, I didn't read the user's agreement. You have a nice day!
The way in which Doug writes these scenes is incredibly uncomfortable.
If you but grasp my hilt.
Sure. Maybe later.
Honey, what are you playing at?
Their relationship starts to fall apart,
Or go pound your pixelated pussy for all I care.
and that's when Yimbroth comes in to sweep her off her feet.
You know, sometimes it's nice for a woman to have a man sweep her off her feet.
Whatever, you are all crazy creatures.
No, I will not have that. Women are bold, beautiful, angelic, and sometimes property to be sold as men see fit.
Carl goes to his job, but Yimbroth follows him and beats up the boss.
It's all right.
But sir, he flipped you!
And I took it like a black Chuck Norris.
Despite this, Yimbroth is hired and actually promoted in the company. The boss even takes a liking to Yimbroth and plays a game of tennis with him. They have some small talk after their match.
You should do this more often.
I would like to, but my master would not see it prudent.
Say what?
My master, Carl.
Whoa there, buddy. I don't know what it's like over in the old world, but here in the States, we've evolved. Hell, we even fought a war over that. You have nothing to fear, my ethnic friend. Besides, this is the post-Obama age. We are the masters now. Catch my drift?
Yimbroth befriends all of Carl's co-workers.
That guy is great.
And even ends up taking his job. By the end, Uncle Yo, or Carl, is transported into the Skyguard video game, which is in his game console in his living room. Yet he appears on Yimbroth's computer in his office. Uncle Yo's like, please dude, help me. I'm in agony in here. I'm gonna die.
I'm in agony! way! Get me out of here!
I can't. The murder reports are due and LeBron is riding my ass.
And then Doug Walker's character goes, I don't care, and shuts the computer off.
No, come back!
There are plenty of scenes that aren't even worth mentioning in the plot description, because they don't add anything to this story. There's one scene in which Doug Walker's character gets this little girl wasted on alcohol.
No, you have to get out.
This scene doesn't have anything to do with the story.
Get out before DCFS shows up!
What was even the point of this short film? It just feels mean-spirited.
You ruined my life.
No, I lived it.
The next short film is a sci-fi comedy titled Dragged In. The basic premise is sci-fi guy is brought in by the government to help stop these aliens that want to catnap everyone's cat. The cats cause a nuisance in the alien spaceship.
So much hair! Clinging to every shred of my vestments!
So they just decide to return them to the humans. And that's the end of the movie, pretty straightforward. But hey, at least Dragged In is short. After another lame introduction by this guy, we're brought into the third movie. The Reviewers, written and directed by Brad Jones, the cinema snob, is about 30 minutes long. It starts with the main character recording a movie review in his basement. His internet review persona is a vampire. He also has a friend who makes videos on the internet.
What's this? It's chapstick from when you kiss my ass after you see my video.
His friend shows him a few videos on his laptop.
You're gonna love this.
The first video is of him wearing a tinfoil hat shooting at a robot. The second video is of a cat. The third video is a response to the cat video.
You talentless hacks. Say hi to your fat little mother for me.
The joke is supposed to be that he has a really vulgar response to just a video of a cat.
If I want to hear something yell like that, I'll track down the owner's mom and beat the... I don't even think it's really the cat meowing. I think it's this dumb prick's wife getting by the neighbor, and she's too ashamed to show on the internet. So he had to dub her voice over the cat. It just shows me that some perv wants to his cat. Is that what you want, internet? Because I don't. I'm a man, and I'm real, not this feline. If this sad sack had the balls to put his fat on the screen, I'd at least be able to respect him. But as
in this movie's universe, the #1 content creator on YouTube, is this guy named The Messiah. He's supposed to be at a music festival and not in someone's backyard.
Am I supposed to be pretending the stock footage is actually there?
You're on enough drugs right now!
Brad looks so skinny.
There's Big Lloyd's. He's big. He's got his... This guy's wearing a shitty store-bought vampire costume that makes him look like Bela Lugosi's stepson.
Internet Dating and Me is the next film we're going to talk about. It claims to be a documentary, although I think that's supposed to be a joke. It's trying to go for a catfish style where you think it's real. This guy, Mike Jevons, is on an internet dating website. He makes a date with a user he thinks is a woman. When he gets to the date, it's actually a guy. And that's it. That's the end of the movie. The final movie that claims to be a documentary is actually a documentary called The ABCs of the Internet's Backside.
Freedom of speech and expression does not give anyone the freedom to threaten and spill hate. So the next time you type in a distinctly hateful comment or reply, the next time you harass or wish death upon someone, remember this film and ask yourself, what if it were me?
Oh. The narration and editing of this documentary lacks any personality.
And thanks to a rapid culture of demanding more rather than a willingness to wait, it leads to a lack of patience and gives people a sense of entitlement they wouldn't have if the internet hadn't spoiled us with what it offers.
And if you're going to talk about a serious subject, then there should be some kind of perspective from someone who knows what they're talking about, an expert in the field of mental health. It's a bunch of comedy internet reviewers. The crew that made this documentary put no effort into being objective and just presenting the facts in a way that wasn't trying to persuade you too much.
Anyone who tells you, oh, it's just words, they're an idiot. Words are important. Words have power and are the basis by which human beings interact with each other. Communication, speech, writing, Words are everything, and as a writer, I just want to talk to you guys about advertisements for a second. This is my day job. I have no other job except for producing the videos. This is how I pay my bills.
No one in this documentary offers anything of value. The way in which this documentary presents these things through news sites and headlines and photos is actually very manipulative. In one segment, they explain the 3 ways people interact on the internet, as if this is it.
Number 1. Treat it as a face-to-face encounter. Put your views forward and respectfully come to the conclusion that you both have different opinions. Forcefully put your views forward, using a confrontational tone or aggressive text to try and overpower the person you disagree with, reinforcing your point. Number 3 is sadly the most frequent when posting online, and that is to attack the person, viewing them as an opponent, someone who doesn't agree with you and is therefore an enemy, and, by the sheer fact that they don't agree with you, is seen as an insult against you, your character, and your beliefs, which usually results in name-calling, threats, lies, insults.
Doug isn't in this documentary, although they cut to footage of him during the celebrity segment.
An internet celebrity is generally viewed as one of the people, supported by a fan base that, while small, are fiercely loyal and protective towards the person they follow. And thanks to the homegrown feel, it allows the fan base the opportunity to identify with the personality.
Fucking footstools for to keep the fucking window open.
Instead of looking to blame society, video games, the government, or the TV shows we watch, stop looking to others for the problem and look at yourself. Taking away video games won't solve it.
What is Channel Awesome's issue with video games?
What about when you're being taunted and sworn at, sometimes from people who should know better, but other times from children? And what happens when the ability to post and comment anonymously is used for something beyond simply disagreeing with an opinion and using it to childishly call someone names through a comment system? What about when the person is an older man or woman preying on a younger male or female, using anonymity to seek out their target? The gift of anonymity, leaving them with no traceable history of what has happened. Having that gift of anonymity can work both ways, just as with the abuse of anonymity. That gift of anonymity.
And that's the Uncanny Valley, a completely irredeemable, incomprehensible piece of shit.
Well, that's it, folks. Hope you had a good something. Because I know I didn't.
Of course he made a full-length Nostalgia Critic review on the Uncanny Valley.
What happens when you make a successful website anniversary special, make an even bigger one the next year, and then make the biggest, most viewed, and most expensive one that they've ever made? Fuck you! I'm tired and would rather have other people contribute to the fact that I have nothing to offer. These are their table scraps.
That could be a joke. Yes, Doug is very funny. These are small films made by content creators on his platform.
So Andy loses his job and he talks it over with his friend and girlfriend, who we're now seeing, and apparently they're all roommates. Hey, 2/3 in isn't the worst time to establish your environment.
It goes against the whole nostalgia brand of his character. He reviews the ABCs of the internet's dark side. Although he pokes fun at it, he agrees with the message behind it.
Oh, there also was an analogy to the Holocaust in there, but everybody could pick up on that.
Over the course of this review, he makes a lot of bad, awkward jokes.
The special opens with what looks like is going to be a blackface routine.
All of these short films feel totally random. They have nothing to do with each other. Technically, they range in quality. Perhaps if there was some kind of theme or genre that was tying each one of these films together. Not really. Mike Jevons, the director of Internet Dating and Me, made a full-length review of the Uncanny Valley as well, as part of his Shameful Sequels review series on YouTube. He does give a lot of genuine criticisms.
Carl doesn't learn from his mistakes and remains a dick throughout the entire thing. How am I supposed to get behind that?
There's no behind-the-scenes anything. All that is left is a blooper reel. Only 3 of the 5 movies are included: Dragged In, The Reviewers, and Dragonboard.
Tectonic layers, I want to say, of your brother's dead skin cells from his hand.
Look how much there is!
He's never thought to clean this out very clearly. What is this gunge that could possibly be there?
Doug constantly makes fun of Carl's terrible performance.
I don't think our renter's insurance is gonna cover intergalactic portals to Gozer.
Intergalactic portals to Gozer! Sorry.
What's left? Is that my colatello prosciutto? The prime of Parma? The fruit of the pig? The crowned jewel of Italian crowned meats?
Sorry.
As for Brad's movie...
If I want to hear someone yowl like that, I'll track down the owner and his mom and... I mean...
It seems to have been awkward for the actors to be performing in such an unprofessional environment. Aside from a short blooper reel, there isn't much known about the behind the scenes of the Uncanny Valley. We can only guess based on previous movies Doug made, which is why Spoony's commentary is important. This nonsense all started with the original Channel Awesome anniversary movies.
So, I think Doug's actually advice, I gave him like 2 takes, and Doug was like, no. I need like victim, like, you are absolutely panic-stricken against the prospect of summoning Dr. Insano. And, I mean, like, you need to feel like completely savaged by this guy. Like,
You'll find none of it left here.
You don't. That's like the last thing in the world you want to do. And it was good advice because he actually, I probably gave him like 4 takes, and he always used the most manic, screaming take of all of them, which was probably the right choice.
Noah talks as if these movies he was a part of were actually brilliant. He also goes on a lot of long rants that have very little to do with the movie, so I've cut a lot of his commentary out for time purposes.
I wear actually a fob watch that hangs off my belt loop.
He does the commentary by himself for Kikassia. By the time Suburban Nights came around, he got a few people on the cast to agree to do the commentary with him. By the time he gets to Boldly Flee, he's by himself again.
My deepest thanks to everyone involved with Channel Awesome, Doug, Rob, Bargo, Mike Michaud, Mike Ellis, everyone involved, being able to act, direct, and shoot 70 minutes, this is around 70 minutes, comedy, 60 to 70%, action sequences. We did this in 4 days, and so, these guys are trying to keep us fed, trying to keep us happy, trying to keep us safe. You can't just film 70 minutes of stuff this intricate and complicated and funny and keep it witty.
Yeah, this funny. It's gonna be really funny, just wait.
Everyone really had to come together. I think the other thing I was really trying to avoid doing was breaking his glasses, because I don't know if he ever had a backup pair of glasses, but I did not want to accidentally right hook him in the face and shatter his glasses.
Just a bunch of nonsense.
And actually, I don't know how it happened. I put my costume in the back of one of the trucks and brought it back home. I usually put the X-ray goggles. Nipple twist! This was suggested on the spot where I used the stethoscope and I break out of like a nerve hole. I had to do that scream for like 5 minutes straight. You can also see the problem with shooting on such a limited schedule. If you look at the sun, if you look at the window, it looks like the sun is going nova outside. That's called backlighting.
It's not backlighting.
Because you're dealing with natural light, and that's always a bitch to do when you're shooting a movie, because natural light changes all the time. It'll blow out your lens when you're looking at it, when you're looking at it through a camera. So you never want to have backlighting. What the problem was, there's backlighting in almost every room of the shot, so it's really tough to shoot that well. And I think Rob did an excellent job of keeping the white balance consistent, trying to keep the blowout from the backlighting easily. Probably my best line. Thank you, Doug. That was a great line. Putting a film over the windows to knock down the sunlight outside by a bunch of f-stops.
You're in the cast. It's not your department to be talking about these things.
But if there was the biggest problem to this show, I think it's the overexposure of the lens in a lot of shots. Like if you look at that entire right side, that entire right side of the shot is dramatically overexposed. At the same time, I actually think it kind of works. I've seen it handled much worse in other movies where it just looks amateurish. I actually think in this respect, the really sharp contrast really plays into the whole war movie aspect of it. Now, maybe I'm just justifying it in hindsight, but I actually think it doesn't look as bad as I initially feared. I had come with this really bad sore throat that turned into like a really hoarse voice, and it turned into a really kind of deep-throated, kind of nasty cough. And this is another thing I was really fearful about, was my voice was really crap the first 2 days, and it was a good thing I didn't actually have much to say the first 2 days. I think over the course of the entire shoot, everyone kind of got what I got. I don't know how. I wasn't really breathing on anybody, but I remember a bunch of people started complaining of having like sore throats and dry throats, and they were wondering aloud how they got sick, and I was just like, oh shit. It wasn't a really debilitating illness. It wasn't like I was dying. It was a really nagging sore throat. Whatever she did the hardest song on Dance Dance Revolution. It was like Paranoia or like 300 or something like that. Whatever that song was. His inspiration for the critic is kind of like a human version of Daffy Duck, especially with his screaming and his kind of when he kind of goes into his incoherent, sputtering rages. Oh, those pink Converses are, I think, Juarios.
Oh, nice.
and all of a sudden Brad runs over to the sink and starts running his hand under the sink.
Oh.
He actually sliced his finger open on the metal Nostalgia Critic seat.
Sounds so dangerous.
That big bladed symbol.
Who would want to work with these people?
It was bleeding like a stuck pig. It was remarkable, that the level of blood that was coming out of his finger. Again, I'm very proud of what we've done here. I am simply amazed that we shot what amount, it was probably like an 80, 85 page script, a feature-length motion picture in 4 days.
Yeah.
I think everyone was very professional. Everyone came together, got the job they had to do done.
It's really good.
They did it with relatively few complaints.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm apparently not evil, so I'm gonna have to gas a 14-year-old boy, because it's just that kind of day.
Do you think I did the right thing ending the Nostalgia Critic? You ever think we left too early? Like, there's more things we could have done with them? I made a choice, you know, and it just felt like it was the right time to go.
And action?
That's why it's your choice. If you think you only have enough for once in a while, just keep it once in a while and go out on top.
You know, not only was he going to kind of go out on top with the character, he was going to do it before he kind of started, before it started getting lame, and
yeah, yeah.
For my bunghole.
He's going out on top. You know, he's, instead of riding the gimmick into the ground, which I think actually he would say he's done, he wants to move on. He doesn't want to be known for that character for all time. He thinks, and he does have better stuff in him.